Just found out my local parts yard got a Colorado in a couple days ago, and I want to go check it out before it gets completely stripped and rated, so I'll take you guys with me. Also forgot to mention, there's an H3 there with 456s, and that might be for another project soon. So come on with and go see what the yard has for us today. So this last week I bought a 3D printer to further complicate my life. I felt that it was an opportunity that I should have to bring you guys more parts and maybe allow me to broaden the amount of parts that I can make for you guys. Some of you guys asked about the Jewel DRLs that I was working on. I actually had the idea to maybe potentially 3D scan and do an insert for those lights, so that all I would end up doing is sending you guys the 3D print for the two DRLs. You guys would go source the specific Raptor lights that I'm talking about and essentially install them into your truck. A couple of guys were asking about like the vent mods for like a boost gauge. I think Matt Cho was the first one to put the boost gauge in his air vent. That was kind of cool. A couple of guys asked for a scan gauge mount, stuff like that. Just a matter of getting the designs built and getting the prototypes built and getting the getting the proper vehicle in my possession to test fit some of these new parts and new pieces and whatnot. So opportunities to increase my product offering to you guys. Good old Saturdays. There's a grip of people here. Yeah, let's park over here. Here we go. Proof that sometimes people don't know what they're looking at. H3 rear axle with 456s. Front diff with 456s. They pulled the motor before it got here. But it was on a pretty significant accident here. Busted the control arm, all that fun stuff. I won't be using any of the stock components. We'll probably end up taking the knuckles and whatnot. But we're hoping to do all brand new components on this H3 swap. So let's check out the Colorado. Crew cab, so it's not Zach's. 05 Z85 two-wheel drive. Was in a pretty significant wreck. Typical. I don't think I'll be collecting the grill. What do you guys think? Wow! Can you guys see that? Whew. DRL survived. There's the other DRL. Center console. It's almost like you go and pee in the urinal and dude walks up right next to you. It's kind of what it's like when somebody tries to start looking on a vehicle that you're looking at. It's just kind of weird. I'm all inside the cab and walking around looking at the truck, and three dudes just walked up and started rifling through the truck. One dude yoinked the e-brake handle real quick. I'm like, what the hell? It's weird, man. That's why I like to come out here weekdays. There's less people to deal with. Thankfully the front diff and rear axle are still here. Obviously the knuckles are still attached, so we'll have to take lug nuts off when I come back. I'm pretty sure the sway bar is probably toasted. I don't think there's any real way to find that out. Maybe not. You like the sway bar, bushings for that, knuckles, probably the calipers. I don't know. I'll have to talk to my buddy and see what he wants to do, because I want to make sure that we get everything we possibly can used for a lot cheaper. But if we want to do this as right as possible, we're going to get all brand new parts anyway. So at least we'll take the axle and everything else and get it back to my place, and from there we will figure out when we can do the H3 swap on his truck. So this yard is of the pick and pull flavor. Got a Planet Auto here in town, and a couple other dismantlers. Like next door is a dismantler. It's not a you pull it yard, it's a we pull it yard. This whole yard here, you pull an LS for, I think it's $250. A couple $100 in wires and whatnot. You can run a dual computer system. Not bad. 6 liter out of that 3500 is gone. This one's probably gone as well. This would have most likely been a 6.0. Gone. Gotta be quick. Gotta know what you're looking for and have it all ready to go. And once it pops up, just go pull it. Just goes to show, if you keep your eye on the apps and you keep your eye on their inventory, you can track down cars to go take a look at, to go steal pieces off of, and you don't have to pay retail. You don't have to pay to buy new. So toots if you're pulling a windshield. Nice. Another option is a website called car-part.com, and it's basically an inventory service for the we pull it yard. So not like this, they're not going to inventory every single part here, but like the yard behind me over the fence there, and any other yard here in town, you can say, hey, I'm looking for a H3 with front leather seats. Boom, pulls it right up, tells you the cost, tells you everything. It's super awesome. You can find damn near anything on those websites. So when I saw this H3 pull up on this site, this pick and pull inventory, I realized, I probably stripped the motor and stripped some stuff out of it. And sure enough, I was here probably a day or two after it was placed, and front leather seats were gone, and the 3.7 was gone as well. So I'm gonna go over here to the Volvos. I'm gonna show you guys just how easy it is to pull or find a Volvo fan for your Colorado or whatever you want to put it in. So let's go over here and we're gonna go find a late 90s wagon that's not entirely molested, and hopefully we can track down a Volvo fan pretty quick. Something stupid I just found is a padlock. Be kind of funny if I could figure out the combo live. It's open. You have to trust my word for it. I actually bought my Dodge work truck, my little Dakota 4.7 crew cab for me for $1,400. Needed a V8 for my handyman business before I really kicked off Badland Industries, and needed a steering rack, needed a couple things, and it was a runner. Got it licensed, got it all put back together, and then about 2 years later, blew it up, smashed it into some poor lady on my birthday. Got like $2,800 for it, and then put $200 of fender and hood from this yard in a bumper, and sold it for $800, and the poor thing seized on the way home. Kid bought it. Told him flat out, I said, man, I don't know how long the motor's gonna last. It's got some noise in it. These 4.7s are notorious for spinning bearings and having knocking and ticking issues, so just being honest with you, I don't know what's wrong with it. I haven't turned into it. Not familiar with it. Poor thing died on the way home. But man, I made a lot of money off that truck. $2,800 and then another $1,800 for selling it. Beyond, I don't know, I probably had, I don't know, maybe $1,000 of parts into it. I broke the dip and stuff like that too, so, but anyway, let's see what else we can find out here. I think this one's a little bit too new, but we're gonna take a look at it either way. There's another one over there that might be work too. So, yep, dead nuts. So this is a 99 S70. This will have your super nice controller and a fan that only bolts on with 4 bolts. Strip the ground cable, pull this off. This guy goes over here to your big fuses and then ends up coming back here. So you get your high and low circuit there, going to that there, comes across, and it'll end up back here at the battery somewheres. But find your late 90s wagon, you got fan right there, 4 bolts. I think they're 10 or 7 metal heads, and it's get it with the built-in fuses, get it with the built-in controller, get as much wiring as you possibly can, and you get yourself a 3,000 plus CFM fan for 30, 40, 50 bucks maybe, depending on your yard. There's a V10, V70 XC, probably the same situation. Bam. Look at that. Right there, fan, 10 mil, 4 bolts. I think the bottom ones are Phillips, but pull the wiring out and you're good to go. She's got a German and a little baby puppy with her. That's funny. Things you don't typically see at the junkyard. Well, Colorado was a bust, but good to know that H3 axle set is still here. So I'm going to make some phone calls and we're going to see we can make a deal on pulling those out. I will be going back here pretty soon to get the axle, sway bar, front sway bar, rear sway bar, front differential, knuckles, stuff like that off of that H3 for an H3 swap project we're going to be doing here. We'll be doing all brand new parts as much as we possibly can, so we're going to be doing new rotors, new calipers probably, new hubs, new control arms, stuff like that, so that essentially what is going to happen is we'll have a brand new, as new as we possibly can, H3 swap. I've got the 3D printer coming, so if you guys have any ideas on parts that I can print or prototype for you guys, I enjoy making things that don't exist. So what I've been trying to do is, like with my lathe, I bought the lathe to build parts for like the differential bushings. I needed a lathe to be able to turn those parts down. So being able to buy tools and to be able to use those in a way that creates parts that don't exist or what have you is what I enjoy doing. So if you guys have any ideas on things that I can 3D print for you for the Colorado's H3s or whatever vehicle you have and you're happen to watch this video, feel free to comment below or send me an email and let me know. I do have a project coming up on my Cherokee Trailhawk. We've got a lift on that coming soon as well. But another kind of fun mod for the Cherokee that fixes what I believe to be a very silly design consideration that Jeep or Mopar just chose not to make. So we'll deal with that here pretty soon. I got all the parts for that just about here. If you guys have any other ideas for videos or products or things for me to print or things for me to make, feel free to comment below or send me an email. I'm more than happy to at least look into those for you. So with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.